What is up, YouTube? We wanted to do a video today talking about something that's been a hot topic lately. Is YouTubers and resellers ruining retro game collecting and video game collecting in general? Heck, even toy collecting and stuff like that. A lot of people talked about how a few years back, going on over a decade probably now, how you were able to go to flea markets, how you were able to go to garage sales, and there'd always be games there, there'd always be stuff there because people wouldn't be picking through them. Well, now after COVID, and especially after some YouTubers maybe, retro gaming and collecting and reselling has become very popular. And even on just about anything, there's actually reseller channels that show you how to do it. So not only do you have to deal with the competition of the resellers themselves, but you also have to teach all their disciples and stuff that they're showing. So the discussion of this video was to just talk about, in general, what do I think about this? And I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. And also, please make sure to check the description below. We have a giveaway going on now for a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Color Modified. So a lot of people that do follow retro gaming on YouTube know about channels such as Phoenix Resale, Metal Jesus Rocks, Pixel Game Squad, Chase After the Right Price. A lot of these guys that show you, they're hunting and stuff like that, but a few of them actually show, what they do with the hunts. And they show you, afterwards they pick all this stuff up and then they just turn around and make a profit off of it. Now, I saw Pixel Game Squad, they got a new channel that they did a podcast on, and they talked about this, and it was a good thing to hear what their thoughts on it in general, too, is because, coming from somebody that might actually have influenced a lot of people, having almost 100,000 subscribers, I think, at this time, and having another channel with the same amount, and showing their endeavors, showing them going out to these flea markets, picking these games up, and then not only showing you what they paid for them, but giving you a nice description on it. And there's a lot of guys that do that. I know Phoenix Resale does some similar stuff too, where he'll show you how he buys stuff cheap, and then kind of go around and show you videos of him reselling it. So and they mentioned in their video too, Pixel Game Squad, that they have noticed that over the years, obviously it's gotten harder and harder to hunt. It used to be you could show up, grab a bunch of stuff dirt cheap and leave. And I know even channels like Pat the NES Punk and stuff and Game Chasers, who originally did stuff like this, said that hunting used to be a lot easier. But after the internet and possibly YouTube and stuff like that, people are, going after the stuff. Now, do I think that YouTube is like the big issue with it and why it's doing it? No. But I think it is a part of it, like, a lot of other people have been saying. Like when I first started collecting and stuff like that, it wasn't just one day I just decided to do it. I was watching, Metal Jesus Rocks, and I got caught up in the nostalgia, and I ended up going back to my house, pulling my Nintendo out, pulling my Sega Genesis out on my mom's house, and then focusing on focusing on collecting again, getting games that I wanted as a kid, getting games that I had as a kid that I traded away or sold at some points. And then, from then it was kind of, I just ran into huge issues. I just started buying everything in sight, and I got a couple other videos about that, but we won't get into that. But so did YouTube influence me to start collecting? They were a big part of it. Now, another influence was also, too, that my friend at the time inherited a bunch of retro games, a bunch of stuff, so then we both were getting into that. And then that kind of influenced what we were watching on YouTube, which was related more to retro gaming. But we also have, like, a lot of, besides retro gaming, there is actually just people that are legitimately out there to show you how to resell. So, I'm just going to pull this up quick. This was just a quick thing that I found on the internet while searching, and it was just a top 15 best reseller YouTube channels. And it basically just talked about a few of them, like this channel called Shed Flips, Primetime Treasure Hunter. He resells on the side, but he actually shows you what he picks up for. And I really didn't know too much of these people because I don't really follow these ones. I have seen these guys before, the Thrift Mine. I think a buddy of mine showed me some of their stuff. But that's basically what they do, is they hit up garage sales, they hit up thrift stores, they hit up everything, and then they buy stuff dirt cheap and then resell it, and they show you the process. Now I know a lot of stigma or stigmata, or there's a bunch of taboo going on there, because a lot of people in the industry and on YouTube do, label them as filthy resellers. So, you're buying stuff dirt cheap. Why are you selling it for so much money? And we've gone over this with DK Oldies too. I mean, it is a business. They do this to make money. I mean, are you going to go through your collection and sell your games, for what they're going for, or are you going to just give them away? So I mean, it's just something like that. And I've done stuff like this in the past. I have not videotaped it as much because I'm not comfortable carrying a camera around in public, especially. But I have gone, into stores and found games that were, I paid $3 for, and then I turned around and sold them for $20-$30, stuff like that, because I was just trying to make money. And that's what it came down to. But the subject in hand, like some of these YouTubers, I'm not throwing any blame or any judgment against those guys. In fact, most of them, I love their channels. Like, I've been watching Pixel Game Squad for years. I've been watching, like I said, I've been on YouTube for about 4 or 5 years, and I've been watching them, longer than that. And they even admitted that, it was kind of hard to go flea markets now, because somebody be like, oh, I loved your channel. I loved everything about it. Because of you guys, I started hunting. And they're all like, oh, cool. Just kind of like, trying to be positive. But it was also like, dang it. And then they'd be like, we found this today. And then they, So it's what it comes down to. Like I said, I think a big part of it is that taboo of, being filthy resellers and doing all this stuff. But these guys are just trying to make a buck. Do I think sometimes it gets a little ridiculous? Yes, like when people buy games for 25 cents, or, I don't even know if they get them that cheap. But, after you buy a huge lot of stuff, and then you turn around and sell it for $100. Part of me doesn't like that, but part of me, might do the same if I really needed the money, guys. If I had bills coming, if I had a mortgage and stuff I couldn't do, and I had to sell some of my game collection, that's what I would have to do. I would sell it for what it's worth. I don't think they're ruining the collecting. I think there's other stuff, in general that ruins collecting. Websites like DK Oldies and stuff like that, which, I mean, essentially they are just a retail reseller. But it is what it is. I just, I don't think it's really ruining completely the collecting. I've said in my past videos how I got too obsessed with it, and I recently been selling a lot of my stuff. I've been letting it go for decent prices. I'm not, looking to make a huge amount of money. A lot of what I've resold, or I've actually gotten games that I wanted with the money that I sold it for. And I know a lot of these YouTubers, that's what they do. They get the stuff, at decent price flea markets. They keep some of it, they resell some of it, and then they get stuff for their collection with it. And normally most of them seem to not, charge outrageous prices. They just, try to do what they can to survive. And over the years, it's progressed. Some people have actually gone from being resellers to owning stores and everything. Like, I mean, you can look at like Retro Rick and stuff like that, who showed you, started with $10 and showed you the process of how you could turn that $10 into a huge video game collection, and then went off and, sold that and stuff like that. I think he actually sold some of it for charity too, and doing all that other stuff. And I mean, you can't get mad at the YouTubers because they are actually, doing this stuff. It's the people that are getting influenced themselves. These YouTubers aren't going out there trying to train, the next generation of hunters, because, that's competition for them. Like I said, a lot of them are probably like, yeah, I'm glad you like the stuff, and I'm glad you did that. And then, but it's also like, oh, good, dang it, now I got somebody else I got to compete with. That one person that might get up 5 minutes before you in the morning to hit that garage sale a few seconds before you do. It's just insane. But I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to give you guys my quick general things about it. And like I said, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not talking crap about anybody. It's just that, something that I thought about. And I really wanted to discuss more with you guys. And I want you guys to know in the comments below, do you think that, YouTube is actually ruining collecting? Do you think that because the YouTubers that showcase everything that they pick up for cheap and then talk about how they resold it and everything like that. Do you think that is ruining collecting? Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, guys, check out that YouTube description for this video to get in on that Gleam giveaway. We're giving away a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Color, guys. Get in on that. As always, stay retro, my friends. Thank you for watching so much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.